Welcome, people of the internet. It is I, the Ninja Nick 333, and we are back with another round of the Championships League in Japan. The E block standard format, D block has rotated. We do have Scarlet and Violet base set legal. So as you can see on the right, the player has started Miraidon EX. These players are both 9 and 2. This is one of the round 3 games. And we are going to see the Lost Box deck go first. Again, lots of Lost Box decks in this tournament, both day 1 and day 2. Looks like this must be a Giratina version, because we do see the concealed cards discarding a Grass Energy. You only play Grass Energy if you're playing Amazing Rare Rayquaza or Giratina V-Star. And I want to say the Amazing Rares are all rotated, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure they did. We do see a Giratina do go to the Lost Zone because of the flower selecting. As always, these Lost Box decks are very self-explanatory in how they operate, although they are very skill-intensive to actually play. The Giratina version, a little bit less so than just straight Lost Box with the Mirage Gates and stuff like that. But anyway, you always have to make sure that you Lost Zone the right cards, because you will never see those cards again. And you have to know the contents of your deck before Lost Zoning anything, really. Because if you're playing only certain counts of certain energies, if you Lost Zone too many of those, you might not be able to attack. Especially if you prize too many. So it's really important to know your prize cards. In Japan, it's best of 1. They don't really have the time to even check prize cards, though. So I do not blame them if they are not checking prize cards. Especially if you're playing the Giratina version. Again, you're probably only playing Psychic and Grass Energy. Maybe a couple of Waters. So when you do your first deck search, you really just have to check the content of the Water Energies. Just, oh, are my 2 or 3 copies in there? Okay, cool. Alright, whatever. We are going to see the Miraidon EX use its ability. It allows you to search your deck for 2 lightning Pokemon and bench them. So we are going to use the Miraidon EX to get Miraidon EX and Raikou. We are then using the second Miraidon EX's ability to search 2 more basic Pokemon that are lightning type to get a Mareep and a Regieleki. So it looks like we are likely going to be using 1 Flaffy in this matchup. Flaffy has the Dynamotor ability, just like the E-Electric of the black and white formats, where you can put a lightning energy from your discard onto one of your benched Pokemon. There is this new, I forgot what it's called, card, but it's like this little electric zapper gun looking thing, and it allows you to look at the top 5, hang on, to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and attach up to 2 lightning energies that you find there to your Pokemon. So he is finding 2 lightning energies off those top 5, and he is attaching it to the benched Miraidon EX. The reason you play the Regieleki V is to evolve it into Regieleki VMAX, which allows your basic lightning type Pokemon to do 30 additional damage a turn. With your opponent's Beach Court, the 1 retreat cost on your Miraidon EX becomes a 0 retreat cost, so he is able to retreat for free, go into the new Miraidon here, attach an energy for a turn, and just take a 1-shot on a Giratina. And that is a pretty clean turn 1 for this deck. To be able to immediately go in with a knockout on your turn 1, getting 3 energies into play, without even having the Flaffy yet, is just kind of immaculate. It's all thanks to that 1 electric zappy gun card. It's gonna take me a while to learn the names of these cards. I haven't seen any of the English cards yet, okay? So I haven't opened a pack of Scarlet and Violet yet. The pre-releases were this weekend as of recording, okay? So, and I don't do pre-releases because I don't like spending money on 3 packs, okay? So I think it's like 4 packs and then like maybe 3 more packs if you like win the tournament type stuff. I don't like pre-releases. I don't like playing sealed in Pokemon. I think it's great in something like Magic. That it's a little more suited for that. I used to play draft a lot in Kaijudo. That was always fun, but Pokemon isn't really built that way, unfortunately. Looks like we are going to see a nest ball that is one of those alternate art, a little bit older nest balls from the times of old, back like 3 years ago when it was standard legal. In the tag team era is when that nest ball is from. I was going to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put directly to the bench. We are going to fail to find. Likely because we already have one Giratina in play. There was one in the discard pile and one in the lost zone. So there are no more Giratinas to get. We also have 2 Comfey in play, 1 Cramorant, and our only Radiant Greninja. So there might really just not be that many Pokemon left. Especially Pokemon that you would even want to put in play at this point. We do have 6 cards in the lost zone now. So we are able to use Switch Cart to switch into the Cramorant. And be able to attack for 110 for free because we have at least 4 cards. Excuse me, in the lost zone. I've been drinking a ton of water. I think I've just been like guzzling air as I've been drinking water. We are going to see the concealed cards, the evolution into the V-Star, which is going to protect it from being one-shot by one of these Miraidon in the future. We will need to see a couple of Regieleki VMAX in order to be able to take a one-shot on this Giratina, and there is only one Regieleki V right now. So maybe a little bit of a mistake getting the Mareep, but I don't know. I think getting the Mareep is still decent. So you could always just maybe take the knockout on this Cramorant this turn. It's very important to note that Miraidon's attack does 220 and then you can't attack next turn. So what we will likely want to see this turn is the other Miraidon get powered up, retreat for free because of the Beach Court into that other Miraidon and take the knockout that way. Or you can power up the Raikou. You would just need 1 attach for turn and the Mareep in order to do such a thing that way. We do see the new Turo's Professor's Research. Comment down below if you think I look like Professor Turo. Do have a similar haircut and beard. It is an inside joke among me and my friends that I started. I just wear glasses. I photoshopped a picture of this card to have glasses and a Superman shirt because I like own like 4 different Superman shirts because I love Superman so much. It's just pretty funny. It's like an inside joke between me and my friends, but I'm the only one who says the joke, so. Is it really that good of a joke? I'm an idiot. Alright, so we do see that Raikou get powered up, as I said, because we had the 1 Flaffy and the attach for turn. We are able to get that, and since the Raikou is active, you can use the Fleet-Footed ability and just draw a card. Just get 1 additional free card. And that is pretty good, so we are going to see the knockout here with Lightning Rondo, I believe is the attack name. Taking the knockout on that Cramorant. The Comfey is now promoted, so we are going to see another flower selecting here. We're going to go to 7 cards in the Lost Zone. That does activate the ability to play Mirage Gate, an item card that allows you to search your deck for 2 different basic energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. They have to be different colors. So you could always get a Grass and a Psychic, attach them to that Rayquaza. Sorry, not Rayquaza, Giratina. I'm getting my legendaries mixed up now. Attach a Psychic and a Grass to it. It still needs 1 colorless energy, so you can attach any other energy that you have in your hand to it and then be able to attack. Unfortunately, its attack cost is to Lost Zone 2 of those energies that are on it in order to do 280, so you will be able to knock out any of your opponent's Pokemon that are not named Regieleki VMAX in 1 hit, but you will have to lose the energies that are on it. So you would likely need another Mirage Gate on the next turn. But once you get up to 10 cards in the Lost Zone, we are 2 away now, so if we have maybe a Colress's Experiment, we could see us get up to that. You can actually use the V-Star power instead, and it says when you have 10 cards in the Lost Zone, you can use this attack. It is the V-Star power, and it just says, knock them out. You don't do damage, it's just an effect of an attack, you just knock out. You just say KO. You get to keep your energies on your dude so that then you can do 280 the next turn. It's a really great way to conserve those energies, but it looks like we may not have the Colress's Experiment. We do have a Luminion. You could bench that and search for a Colress's Experiment. Get to that. I don't even know if I see a Mirage Gate in hand either. It's hard to tell because those cards are being held tight to the chest here. I do see a Clara, but I don't know. We would also need a switch card as well. So we are going to bench the Luminion, likely going for that Chorus's Experiment right now. That will not only get us 3 more cards in hand, but also get 2 more cards in the Lost Zone. Hopefully we even have access to a Chorus's Experiment here. Looks like we do. That is that alternate art Chorus's Experiment from the Crown Zenith set. A different set in Japan, but Crown Zenith for us. So just gonna shuffle that deck pretty thoroughly. That is a good mass shuffle. Opponent's gonna say how many cards to cut because they have a big pane of like plexiglass or plastic between them because of the coronavirus. And yes, there's that Chorus's Experiment. Look at the top 5. So yeah, so what I would like to see is maybe the V-Star power this turn to knock out the Raikou, and then on the next turn, attack with a Cramorant on the damaged Miraidon, and then the turn after that, knock out the other Miraidon with the 280 attack. Or what you could do is, I don't know, if you play Pokemon Catcher, maybe bring up the Regieleki VMAX, use the V-Star power on that, and take 3 prize cards, but I don't think the additional prize card from knocking out the Regieleki is going to matter. Do the minus the 30 less damage from removing the Regieleki is a lot better though. We are going to see Energy Recycler putting back 4 energy cards. That is important for the Mirage Gate if we are going to do that this turn. And here it is. We do have the Mirage Gate in hand, so we are going to be able to grab a Psychic and a Grass Energy. We are going to, put a Psychic onto one of the benched Pokemon that is not Giratina. Are we going to attack with Giratina this turn? We might be using a second Mirage Gate, but if we are, why did we just shuffle? Yeah, I don't see a second Mirage Gate. We are going to switch card. All right, so we're going to do the Sableye attack this turn. That's actually not bad. You could, I think, knock out that Miraidon. You're doing 120. There are 12 damage counters. There are 11 on it right now. So, yeah, you do 11 to the Miraidon to knock it out, and then you can put 1 more damage counter wherever else you would like. Maybe just to the Regieleki VMAX. I don't think it really matters. They are replacing the Beach Court with a Path to the Peak. That is going to shut off Regieleki VMAX's plus 30. It's going to shut off Miraidon EX's ability to search Pokemon out. The only thing it's not, and it's shutting off Lightning Rhino, honestly. But the only thing it's not shutting off is that Dynamotor. So we could see that work out that way as well. So it looks like we're going to put that 1 damage counter to the basic Regieleki V and knock out the Miraidon for 2 prize cards. So that is a really good attack there. Since you did not have the ability to attack with the Giratina, and it's also a lot more conservative because you don't have to Lost Zone any energy to do this attack either. Especially since you don't have another Mirage Gate in hand either. You know, hey, I'm going to at least get an energy down here. Maybe you could Clara on the next turn and just get the Sableye back and do something like that again. You could then knock out the Flaffy, and then your last 3 prize cards could be the V-Star power of the Giratina onto the Regieleki VMAX. So that is a way to map that out. So this is good play from this player, I do believe. It's just going to be interesting to see because it took them a little bit longer to get going. The Cramorant attacks are just not as powerful as just Miraidon one-shotting your V. Yeah, that turn 1 boss from the Miraidon deck was what was absolutely killer, especially getting 2 energies off of that 1 electric item card. But we are going to see Judge here from the Miraidon player. We are just going to shuffle in and redraw 4 from the deck. So that is going to thin that hand out quite a bit for the Lost Box player. Lost Box hates having their hand disrupted. Things like Marnie, which is no longer in this format, along with things like Judge, just really, really hurt. And Roxanne especially. Just because the Lost Box decks rely on just building up such a big hand. And at this point in the game, you know, maybe you're already down 2 or 3 Colress's Experiments. There's not a lot of other ways to build up so many cards in your hand, especially without Scoop Up Net in the format anymore. But this might not be too bad. If we have another Mirage Gate, you could always Mirage Gate to the Comfey and to a new Sableye that you could bench. But we will have to see what we can exactly draw into. Looks like, ooh, nope, that is a useless stadium card, so we are just going to Lost Zone that. The Temple of Sinnoh does not do anything because your opponent is playing only Lightning Energy. It does not play any special energies, so no point in playing Temple of Sinnoh here. And yeah, that looks like a pretty dead hand. I saw some sort of Giratina piece, a couple of energy cards. You have your own Path to the Peak in play, so you can't even use Radiant Greninja. Yeah, there is an Escape Rope. I think that was in her previous hand. She might have redrawn it. But, of course, the deck is likely playing 4 of those, so odds are high. Switching into another Comfey. Flower selecting. We are going to get rid of a Grass Energy to get a Colress's Experiment. Now we can play that and maybe get some more cards in hand. But the problem is there's not a lot of energies left in deck, and I think they were all just grass too. So there's high odds that you're even going to draw into those energies. So how are you going to do your next Mirage Gate is the real question, because that's what you need in order to be able to still have any chance in this game. Just another Escape Rope. Okay, so this is good. Having the first Escape Rope is bad because they put up the Radiant Greninja, and that's not something that you want to knock out. I would think in this position, you would be fine knocking out the Flaffy because at least that gets more energy into play. I don't know. Even that doesn't feel right. I think the Flaffy has a 2 retreat cost, so if Beach Court comes down, I don't know if the Miraidon deck plays Beach Court at all. Yeah, I think it's a true retreat cost. It's hard to tell because it's a little blurry looking. But yeah, it just goes into the Radiant Greninja, attaches, passes. Yeah, so I don't know. I think this is, at this point, this Giratina deck is just buying time. And no matter how much time they have, it's not going to be enough. Because at some point, they will just be able to take more prize cards. There are only 2 prize cards remaining for this Miraidon EX deck, so they will, looks like, just safely take a 1 prize knockout here with the Raikou. And then they'll have 2 attackers. Your opponent can't knock out both the Raikou and the Miraidon EX at the same time. So even if we get that Giratina powered up now on this next turn, and we knock out the Raikou, we will still be facing a fully powered up Miraidon EX that is hitting for an additional 60 damage because of the 2 Regieleki VMAXs, which is an exact 280 to knock out the Giratina V-Star. So it does not look like this is actually that great of a matchup here for Giratina. The math really works in the favor of the Miraidon deck, and they got set up so super well turn 1. And it all came down to that boss and electric zapper gun thing, whatever it's called. Just gonna call it like electricity generator or something. I don't know. Until I see an official English name, I'm never gonna remember it. But yeah, so it does look kind of like checkmate at this point, because you do have the 2 fully powered up Miraidon. I guess the only way out of it would be to like try to boss something up and lock it, and then hope your opponent decks out before you do. But even if you boss up a Flaffy, I think they'd probably just have the energy to just attach and retreat eventually. Or maybe another Escape Rope or something in deck. do see a boss's orders was lost owned. We're going to Ultra Ball away a Giratina piece and a Battle VIP pass. There is really nothing in deck there. The Clara could get you back the Sableye, but that doesn't really get you very far. I don't see any way that the Lost Box deck can go back here. It's just very unfortunate. I think that it's either a very bad matchup or it's just, you know, it's just too hard. I think Miraidon just goes too fast. The fact that you can just chain the Miraidon's abilities together, the Co-Rhydon EX ends your turn when you use its ability, but Miraidon EX does not. And that is the huge difference on the fact that Miraidon is just such a better card. And it's like past versus future as well. Like, just ending your turn just makes the ability so much worse. It is a thing of the past, if you will, and these Miraidons, these techs of the future, just being able to just chain their abilities to get a perfect setup turn 1 every time. And just got to straighten out the loss zone, even though they're losing in 5 seconds here. Oh god. Just gonna spread them out again. Oh no. Can I safely skip ahead here? I don't know. The video's too long. It's like, the video is like 10 hours long. I can't safely skip ahead very well. I could use my arrow keys, but my arrow keys are finicky on my keyboard. There are 15 cards in that loss zone. Alright, they're all pretty and straight now. I don't know, because before they just weren't putting the loss zone cards on the screen, and now they're just having them just go across the entire board state. So it looks like the Regieleki VMAX was promoted here when that knockout was taken. So I'm curious to see as of why, because the Regieleki V was knocked out. So we actually don't have the one-shot here anymore. Yeah, so since that one Regieleki VMAX was knocked out with the V-Star attack, I almost said GX attack, that's funny. 3 prize cards were taken. The Giratina is down to 1 prize card now, but the thing is just, can you take the knockout on anything this turn? If you have Escape Rope, you win. If you have... Oh, yep, there it is. There's the Escape Rope. Yeah, Escape Rope seems very good in Miraidon here. Yep, and there it is. That is the game. Because if he did miss the Escape Rope that turn, promoting the Regieleki VMAX was still the correct play, because it's the only thing that can survive an attack for 280, making sure that your opponent can't play the game. And that ended up still being very close. So very interesting to see that. I do love the way that this Miraidon deck operates. It's just a little unfortunate that I do believe we won't see any in the top 16, but I do like that I'm seeing more of it now. I will be building that. I am trying to build up some store credit so that I can buy them from my local store, so that I will be able to play that. I have all the stuff for all of the standard decks, including Gardevoir right now, just not any of the new Scarlet and Violet stuff, so we'll have to look into getting those when they come out in a couple of weeks of recording here. So, as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Feed that YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well to be notified when more videos go live, which is pretty much every day around the same time, usually noon, unless I click a button wrong like that one time when it uploaded at midnight instead. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.